Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new TV review here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Mac Dinberg, and today I'm talking about all 6 short episodes of the brand new, really technically new show, really season 2, after first last year of Tales of the Jedi, now getting into Tales of the Empire. And excuse me, the Jedi came out in 2022. This show around follows, again, just like season 1 followed 3 episodes of Count Dooku before the events of Phantom Menace and 3 episodes filling in the plot points for Ahsoka Tano. This show is Tales of the Empire, focusing on 2 kind of villainous characters. The first 3 episodes are Morgan Elsbeth, who's played by Deanna Lee Inosanto, who is back voicing her live-action character that she performed on for The Mandalorian Season 2 and the Ahsoka series. We follow her from how she got from where we saw her in Ahsoka Mandalorian to where we saw her at the beginning of this episode of this series. And we also follow former Jedi Barriss Offee, who once again is voiced by Meredith Salinger. Hopefully I'm saying her name right. She also voiced the character in Clone Wars, someone who helped get really Ahsoka out of the Jedi Order trying to frame her. The episodes are ranging from 13 minutes to 17 minutes and RPG. So welcome back to a brand new review here in Max Talks Movies. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. I talk all things movies, TV shows, and box office, so please subscribe, ring the bell. If you're new, comment down below. Was this better than Tales of the Jedi? What do you want to see with this anthology series moving forward for Star Wars? What should be the next big animated show for Star Wars, as we just lost both The Bad Batch and this show as well? So let us know in the comment section. Also, please like the video, the thumbs up button. So because the episodes just dropped on May the 4th, this will be a non-spoiler review getting into these episodes, even though the trailers really spoiled all the good reveals and cameos that will be in this show, sadly, both in the posters. So I'm not even gonna, you see the Inquisitor, you see Grievous, you see Thrawn behind me. This is the main poster for the show. They spoiled all of the cameos. So this will be non-spoiler, though, not going to break down what happens in the show, who dies, who lives, stuff like that. But I just want to give my general thoughts, because as you know, if you're getting new to the channel, I adore Star Wars. It's my favorite franchise. I reviewed Tales of the Jedi here on this channel. Just did my full season 3 review of Bad Batch yesterday. And what I'm going to say is I am massively disappointed by this series. I loved Tales of the Jedi. Really good stuff with Ahsoka, but excellent things with the Count Dooku episodes in season 1 of Tales of the Jedi, learning about what makes a guy in this situation be so in such a bad place that he could be tempted. Not that he hates the Jedi, but he sees the lies, he sees the negativity with the Jedi Order. What could tempt a guy to go from that to obviously being the Emperor's apprentice? Fascinating episodes. And I really, again, those 3 episodes, sure, they aren't necessary, but they add a lot to the lore and a lot of the mindset of both Ahsoka and Dooku during the prequels. Thought that was really excellent. Here, we follow Morgan Elsbeth and Barriss Offee. Now, Morgan, I was not excited about, and boy, was I right. Again, it's no offense to Deanna Lee Inosanto. She's a really good performer, both live action and here in voiceover. But this character is not, in my opinion, just a good enough, interesting character. I just didn't care about her backstory. There's things that you didn't need explored in this series based on her character, other than we knew that the witches of Dathomir were destroyed. Even if you watch Clone Wars and they bring it up that she's one of the last descendants of her people in the Ahsoka series, I just felt like this was a missed opportunity. The first episode in particular, which has General Grievous in the episode, Grievous is good in the episode, but when it was over, I was like, the 3 Morgan episodes, and I hate to say this, it just felt like a waste of time. 15 episodes really a piece, and the only element of the Morgan episode that I liked was kind of the last 5 to 10 minutes of episode 2, which had to do with Thrawn. And the only reason why that was interesting is because we got to see how Thrawn recruited those people. It's also the first time that Thrawn has been animated in the kind of this Clone Wars version of himself. Again, Tales of the Empire falls more in the Bad Batch and Clone Wars type animation more than Rebels. So it was cool to see young Thrawn, that animation. And obviously, Lars Mikkelsen does a terrific job, again, voicing this character. And that scene with Thrawn is excellent. But other than that, it's not really because Morgan is there. Morgan, for me, is an uninteresting character. She's a good okay, a passable side character in Mando season two, especially that one fight with Ahsoka was excellent. Used her correctly. That was a great use of Morgan Elsbeth in Mando season two. That episode with Ahsoka, she was very solid in the Ahsoka series, but it's just a character that I don't think any of us were asking for her backstory and why she turned. It felt like it was pretty on the nose, and we already knew that. And when the episode ended, I didn't really learn anything new about Morgan, other than really maybe how Thrawn recruits people, which has nothing to do with Morgan. So that part of the show, I was not a big fan of. The Barriss Offee stuff, again, I'm a massive Clone Wars fan. I've seen it 4 or 5 times all the way through. Barriss is even though she's not in Clone Wars a lot, she might be in the most essential storyline with revolving around framing Ahsoka and for the death of a former Jedi, which sets up Jedi Order to turn on Ahsoka, except for Anakin. And after the trial is over, Barriss is sentenced to life, but Ahsoka is back with the Jedi Order, and that's when Ahsoka's like, "You guys all just turned on me." So that's when Ahsoka leaves the Jedi Order. Barriss is a very vital piece towards Ahsoka's big character moments in Clone Wars. You know, I think she's only character for 9 episodes. She makes her impact. And Barriss is recruited in these 3 episodes by the Inquisitors, and thankfully they brought back Jason Isaacs to do the voice work for the Grand Inquisitor in those episodes. And he obviously voiced the characters in Rebels, which was really great after they kind of, in my opinion, messed up the Grand Inquisitor in the Obi-Wan series. Also, Rhea, who voices Lynn, who's also in the Obi-Wan series as one of the sisters of the Inquisitor. She also is back to voice her character. Very well done by Rhea. But overall, again, the first episode with Barriss was really good. The recruitment of Barriss, her becoming an Inquisitor, things like that. That was really an excellent episode. Episode 4 of this series was by far and away the best part. But once we got into episodes 5 and 6, Barriss makes a complete character choice and personality just switch, and we don't get enough time to really get why she's changing already. Barriss, while yes, she understood the lies, terrible person still. She's not someone you were rooting for in Clone Wars when all this stuff was. She's framed Ahsoka Tano for murdering a Jedi. And no matter if she was doing it for the good reason, it was not, because it just messed everything up. And then she makes these quick character switch in episode 5, and it didn't make sense, especially where they took her character in episode 6. And I just left deflated, honestly, watching these 6 episodes, because I think the problem here is that these episodes are around 15 minutes long. And each time an episode ended, it just felt like it was about to get going into that high gear. Like we needed a lot more out of each of these episodes. I would be done, I'm like, oh, wow, here we go. We have to get into the action. Then the episode ends. I'm like, that's how the episode is ending. And I feel like if these episodes were maybe even 30 minutes, they would suit themselves better. I did not feel that in season 1 of Tales of the Jedi. I did not feel that those episodes, they had a lot of meat on the bone in those episodes in just 15 minutes. And I felt like from the writing team, they just didn't have enough story here, even for 15 minutes. And that means that these characters are not interesting enough to have their own spin-off anthology series. I think if they want to continue this, and I'm not saying that these characters, I don't want the characters to have to be on the level of Count Dooku and Ahsoka Tano. That's not what I'm saying. But Morgan Elsbeth, who is for me, her backstory is something that I never cared about when I was watching Mandalorian or Ahsoka. And Barriss, I think Barriss was the one, because she had such limited time in Clone Wars, she could have actually used this platform. And I think because they set Barriss' storyline to be post Clone Wars, it didn't have a lot of meat on the bone for that character as well. So they want to keep doing this. And also, it's called Tales of the Empire, and there isn't really tons of Empire in this show. Majority of the time, it's just Morgan controlling a group of people, which has nothing to do with the Empire until Thrawn comes in for the last 5 minutes of episode 2. And yes, the Inquisitors are part of the Empire, and obviously under the tutelage of Vader, they are still not, like, they feel always like an offshoot of the Empire as well. So if they want to do Tales of the Empire, they really got to more heavily focus on the Empire. So I was very disappointed with this season, left a lot of meat on the table, and I just didn't enjoy myself watching these episodes. So what are your thoughts on Tales of the Empire? Were you like me, disappointed, or did you actually enjoy this and want to see more out of these two characters? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you guys soon.